You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from the last car at the back of the pack of the 1981 Cannonball Run. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Make some noise, kids. We're back. This is episode 174 of the Wicked Theory Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Bill something or other. And every week I get together with some friends. I bring them, I let them hang out with me because that's how nice I am. And one of them's Ed.
This is why they don't make movies called Night Raid to Boise, Idaho, or Firemen Strike at Dawn. And this is why you ain't exactly a hero for taking these chances you take. You're more of what I would call a dickhead.
Well, I resemble the last part. And then over there, Brother Bob on guitar.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Don't call yourself a dickhead.
Well, I'm
Show
just
some
saying.
confidence, Bill.
No, I got it. Trust me, it's there. If I didn't have confidence, I wouldn't call myself a dickhead in public.
These quotes have become speeches, Bill.
At times. That's the thing. It's like a randomizer. You never know what you're going to get with this box of chocolates, let me tell you.
Oh, here we go.
That's it. How many more movie references can we jam into this opening sequence?
Oh, it's true. My mom got me a desk calendar of movie quotes.
Holy shit.
And,
Tear off one a day
Yeah,
kind of thing?
one a day.
Yeah.
My coworkers have been enjoying it. Yesterday's was I farted in your general direction.
Nice. From Monty Python thing.
Yeah, for Monty Python and Holy Grail. It's always nice. Someone just walks past my desk and then I get that half second where they stop and giggle.
And you just hope it's the calendar and not you.
I'm trying to figure what? Am I in trouble?
Did I do something?
Do I have toilet paper sticking out of my pants?
You know?
It was like, oh, okay, all right.
Do you find people coming over, really being a little too friendly with it on their own and start thumbing through and want to see the next day and the day after that and want to skip ahead?
No.
Is that what you do?
Because they'd have to reach over me to get to it.
And you bite their hand off?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, they may do that when I'm on lunch or something.
I remember having the Far Side calendar like that, and I would just constantly, I'd be like, I can't just sit here and not read a couple
every
more.
single one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not like I'm going to remember in 8 months when I get to February. I'm not going to remember that joke. I'm going to relive it.
My dad used to have a Far Side, and the funniest ones, he would photocopy and bring home.
Oh, those were the days.
Oh,
Those were the days. Cutting them out of the old newspaper and stuff. Remember newspapers, kids?
Yeah.
Papers with news on them.
Yeah. But I remember one was this is how we get kids to behave on planes. The old decoy kid where they just have a balloon of a kid hanging off the wing of an airplane.
Nice.
See, Billy, that's what happens if you don't behave.
And it probably was Billy, because it's always Billy in these things.
Yeah.
Billy's pretty much a moron, is what I learned. Billy's always the kid who spills, breaks, gets yelled at, But then again, I resemble that remark once again.
Billy.
Billy. The old Billy Baru.
There weren't many Eddies growing up.
No.
It was
the
only one I had was Eddie Valiant from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I think it was kids' names were it's Billy, Jimmy, Tommy,
Yeah.
and then Butchie. In every thing that was made from the 80s
Butch.
back, what I mean, Butchie, and then Butchie was always the kid who was trouble.
Yeah.
He was basically the bully that they let hang out in the group, which never made any sense with Little Rascals. It's that kid's an outright jerk. Why do you nerds and herbs all hanging out with him still? All right, so
Butchie should have been the first sign of the fact that very little time was spent actually writing these things.
Yeah, well, Little Rascals. Let's just put a bunch of kids in a room and roll the camera. All right, so official business. This is a podcast. We got an email address, and it's called podcast@wickedtheory.com. You can send an email. And if you're listening live in the chat room, because we do this live every Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mixler. You can go to Mixler.com, find us there under the Wicked Theory /Wicked Theory thing, or download the Mixler app. Hang out with us then. And come live, hang out in the chat room. We'll annoy you, you'll annoy us. It'll be great.
It'll be great, yeah.
It's a mutual exchange.
Yeah.
People can leave voicemails if they're into that. If they're feeling sexy, they want to be husky on the old digital recording. They can do that off the website, wickedtheory.com. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say
Fair
about
enough.
the voice. The one leaving the voicemails. If you got voice skills, use them on the voicemail. Maybe it ends up in the show.
Maybe it ends up in the show. Maybe it ends up on the soundboard. If you've got something stupid to say, and you think it's that good, hell, if you want to do a promo,
Say like, if you do a good Homer Simpson, let's say.
yeah, if you're somebody like that, don't bring that up because he sent me like a half an hour of Homer Simpson stuff, and like some of it's like a little too modulated, like it's a little too close, and I didn't want to make him do like it was too soon to send him back in.
Yeah.
Like, cause he's like, hey, look what I did for you, buddy, and I'm like, oh, thanks, Dan. And then like, I was like, oh, somebody's like a little overmodulated.
You see what's gonna happen? This is why you got to talk things out with people, because he's gonna hear this now.
Oh, that's right, we're recording this.
And,
Yeah.
Oh, hey Dan, what's up, buddy?
No,
Thanks for that Homer Simpson
Yeah,
stuff.
really.
And Dan's gonna be like, "That's why you didn't use those.
That's
I
right.
just thought they were bad.
Right.
I can redo them for you right now, and like next week we'll get a bunch of Homer Simpson clips that will be like primo.
Perfecto.
You see what happens, Bill, when you make people aware of the problem.
Yeah, but this is my back way into that, I guess. This was like, it wasn't exactly planned, but I didn't stop the ball rolling either. Like, you know what I mean? Part of me was like, I guess we're talking about this now. So, yeah.
Sorry I had brought it up. Man.
No.
The thought came to me in the moment.
I kept it going. So, yeah, kids, do that if you want to. Use the voicemail for that. Send us whatever you like on there. And,
Yeah.
and the better it is, the more we'll listen to it. DC TV report comes out fresh, hot, crispy, like out of an oven every week. Ed, it's your show with Sarah Netzley. Tell us something about it.
Yeah, well, this is episode.
That's enough.
52.
Okay, that's right. You didn't get to a fact. Now that's enough.
Yeah.
You told us something.
Yeah, it's 52.
52
Very big number.
for a DC TV based show. Yes,
A whole deck of cards there.
whole
Yeah.
deck of cards.
Yeah, it's a 1 year anniversary.
Now your show's about politics, right? DC TV.
Science and math, Bill.
It's a comic book television.
Oh,
Detective
okay.
Comics.
Oh, DC Comics. Gotcha.
Yes. Yes, Detective
No,
Comics.
I thought it was like DC as in electricity.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
well, yeah.
DC current.
The AC show doesn't like
Yeah.
that. They battle it out.
But Preacher's done, so we didn't have any
Right.
new episodes.
But the 52 episodes, that's like a moment.
Yeah,
A thing.
It's a cause for celebration, sort of.
Right, 52 weeks. You guys have been at it for a year. Congratulations on you guys holding tough.
Thank you.
I have not heard the episode yet.
No, I will tell you, it's because there's no new episodes. We do have a lot of news coverage.
Mm-hmm.
We have some thank yous from. I'd like to shout out Sammy,
nice.
our buddy Steph, and Agent Palmer for sending in some congratulatory emails that we didn't even realize until like Thursday.
I know. I reminded you, like 2 weeks ago. I was like, "Hey, like next week is 50 because it was 49." Just to remind you, but 52 is coming, so maybe that's when you celebrate because
Yeah.
it's DC show. And then last Thursday, I was like, "Oh shit, maybe I should throw that into our mutual chat just to remind them."
Yeah.
But anyway,
So yeah, and yeah.
there was
and
cake and cookies, confetti. You guys both got drunk live on air. Did any of that happen?
No.
All right. Well, I'm
No.
going to assume it was a good time anyway.
Well, we recorded on a Saturday morning, so it might have been, and
Well, I hope you guys were up long enough for the coffee to kick in.
yeah, and
Having a bowl of cereal during the show.
Yeah, right. A lot of breaks. Let me
Yeah.
just woof this down real quick.
and our retro pick was the Batman the Animated Series episode, Almost Got Him.
Almost got him.
Yeah,
All right, so kids,
it's a classic.
it's a classic. Every episode of that is a classic. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So kids, check that out. Support our endeavors. You can also check out and support our friend over at The Real Thing. That's our buddy Wes Weezer. He's been running, basically it's a pop culture page on Facebook that we really like. He keeps everybody up to date with news and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you haven't gotten around to it, give it a go.
Yeah.
Give it the old whirly bird.
So he quit the band Weezer, right? Now he's just doing this full time.
Right, a lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah, right.
That-
He was the whole reason for the name of the band.
Yeah. He, it wasn't even really his band. They just pulled the name.
Yeah.
It's not because his grandpa smoked 4 packs a day.
Right.
Also, real quick, I do want to apologize that there hasn't been a new franchise Chronicles. We skipped a week, but I am watching Fury Road.
Okay.
And we should have that up next week. And we're gonna be picking a new franchise soon.
Mm.
And I'm picking a really big one, big endeavor. Not spoiling it here. But,
Right.
We'll probably announce it, next week or sometime.
Yeah, sure. Very cool. Teasing it out. All right. So with that, let's see who's in the chat room.
So we have.
Who were the chat rats this week?
We got Agent Palmer. We got Wesley.
Yeah.
And Zombie John.
Wait, who did you say? What was the list?
Wesley,
Yeah.
Agent Palmer, Zombie John, and James.
Okay, James.
James
Okay,
just
I was
showed
gonna
up.
say. And first of all, Agent Palmer, he's always there. I know he's there.
Yeah.
He's staffish. I know you don't want. I know your instinct is to like.
That's getting close. Shh.
I know, but that's his instinct is to do that. And then I'm like, why is he always read Agent Palmer? I mean, I guess it's like, hey, thanks for coming in, buddy. But he's working. He's working.
Yeah.
It's like if we're doing a count of how many people are in the theater, we're not counting the ushers.
I suppose.
Just saying.
I didn't want to say just 2 names.
Well, that's true. That's true. So we got 3 now. All right. Well, it takes a couple minutes for this to warm up. This chat room.
Yeah.
It's gonna get hot. It's gonna get hot and heavy in there.
Yeah.
Any minute, I'm sure. 12 people are gonna run in, and then leave.
It's going to be an orgy.
Yeah. It's a quickie.
And you got a game for him.
I do. We're gonna do it a little different again this week. We're gonna switch it up, do something a little different.
Okay.
Totally stealing this bit, but I thought we got some swift, sharp people.
Okay.
I wasn't debating whether or not they were people. I was
No,
whether or
no.
not to throw another adjective in.
Yeah.
Okay.
No intellectual midgets.
No, none of those. None of those.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a totally stolen bit. It's called One Lie, One Truth, and we're gonna try and pick out what is your truth and what is your lie. So for each of you listening that want to play, write down an A and a B, and one of those things about you is going to be true and one's going to be a lie. Now, if it's a story, don't get too deep on the story. Just give us the basic rundown, and then you can later on when we get to this and it's coming around to you, you can type out something longer if you want to then. But for now, just keep it kind of clean and easy. An A and a B, and when it comes back, we come back to this a little bit in a little while. We're going to see, if we can pick out what's lie and what's true amongst us. I'm sure we'll all disagree here or there on that. But it's a way for the kids to have fun with us as we have fun with them, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a mutual fun exchange.
Cool.
And I think we found the episode title for this one.
Mutual Fun Exchange.
Mutual Fun Exchange, the MFE. So with that, let's do some news. Let's get down and dirty with the news. Down and dirty with the news. So William Shatner's got a book. William Shatner wrote a memoir.
Is it as bad as the way he sings?
I hope he doesn't write with all those pauses, like lots of ellipses.
Well, it'd be like, 5 words and like 12 pages of blank.
Right. It's a 700-page book, but it's like one chapter. So he gets into some cool stuff. I pulled up an article for us to kind of roll with real quick that points out like 7 interesting things real quick. But I thought a couple in particular were kind of interesting. In one of these passages, he fesses up to doing some magic mushrooms while in Amsterdam. And the pull quote here is, "How could I say no? Somewhere in the recesses of my mind, I remember reading that Alice in Wonderland was actually the description of a psychedelic trip. Well, I always loved Alice in Wonderland, and if it were possible to visit Wonderland, well, that appealed to me. And, so I can't imagine being trapped with him.
So he's a nut and an egomaniac.
And take that guy, put him in another country on mushrooms.
Well, just so you know, William Shatner churns them out. Like he puts out like a book a year.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is not,
This is not like, the memoir that we've
This
been...
is Tuesday's memoirs.
Right.
Yeah. Like I'm seeing he has a book from 2009 called Up Till Now.
Up till now, because there'll be another one any minute now.
Yeah.
Right. Up to the minute.
When he
with
needs
Will.
money, he's going to call a ghostwriter and sell another book.
When are we going to get to the point where someone like him just has a podcast? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I if you follow him on Twitter,
It seems like it's coming.
he is very active on Twitter, and it's not profitable yet. Like someone actually put out, and he explained,
right.
why should I spend all the time and money for something that maybe a couple thousand people will listen to?
Well,
when I can put out a tweet that hundreds of thousands of people will listen to.
He's misreading the tea leaves. He's
Yeah.
right. Like if you do it homebrew, it's a lot more work. But
Yeah.
he's misreading the tea leaves.
Yeah.
He would be up there. He would be up there. He would be up
Right,
there.
he would just go to an agency and they would be like, "Here we go, okay, no
We'll
problem.
package it
We'll
all
package
for
it
you.
all for you.
We'll
You just
handle
come
the
into our
ad revenue.
studio."
Yeah.
We'll keep you abreast of how it makes more money and all that stuff as it goes on. But he'll just be like everybody else, jamming ads. He won't do any of the ad shit.
Yeah, I also think, he's in his 80s. I think he's, I could just relax and argue with people on Twitter on the couch every day.
Oh, yeah.
And,
But if you told him, Will, all you got to do is go down to, we'll put it in your fucking basement if you want to. You know what I mean? But you could just go down to this one booth and just do whatever for an hour. And we'll do the work.
Yeah. I will also say another book that I purchased for my father a couple years ago was a memoir he put out called Leonard, My 50-Year Friendship with a Remarkable Man.
Oh, you mean this person he actually hates behind the scenes?
Right. He's like, I better be good to him. He's gonna die soon. So there's mushrooms in Amsterdam. He talks about Leonard Nimoy, of course. He's got an interesting thing about don't ask him for financial advice. He regrets ever hunting for sport, and he regrets directing Star Trek V. He kind of feels like he kind of made a bad choice on that, and that there was a lot of compromises made in that movie, and there's a long back history we've kind of covered here a little bit too on some of those decisions.
Yeah.
But basically, he says of it now, he's like, I had a choice. I could accept these compromises or refuse to direct, and I made the mistake. I accepted the compromises, which kind of doomed the picture from the beginning. So it's kind of one of these like taking responsibility for a thing that I was kind of painted into a corner to do.
Yeah.
So I regret doing the right thing. Which turned out to be the wrong. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those that not me.
Yeah, because it's kind of an ego trip because he and Nimoy had favored nations, which means any
one gets direct, the other guy gets to direct.
Yeah. So because Nimoy actually directed 2,
right,
he was pretty much like if he wanted to direct 5, they had to let him.
Yeah.
So he kind of exercised that, and and it's not a bad movie. It's kind of like a 2-part episode of the original series.
Yeah.
It's not as good as a lot of the other ones, and the special effects aren't that great because everyone who from ILM was taken off that project and put on Howard the Duck. So
yeah, good move.
Marvel
is going to be big. Marvel's going to be big, I tell you.
Any day now. Any day now.
So they ended up getting this ramshack special effects studio out of Long Island that wasn't really
ready for the task.
And but yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. And then he once did comedy stand-up as Captain Kirk, and it was not successful.
Nope.
So
I wonder why.
Yeah. So
well, they just thought he went nuts.
Yeah. So the book's available on audio tape and hardcover like real soon or something. There's an excerpt here, but I'm not playing it. All right. So that's one down for me. Yep. Actually, that's all I got for news, really.
All right.
But sad news this week.
Yeah. Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds passed away.
Passed away at the age of 82.
Living legend.
Mm-hmm.
One of those ones, you feel it, and you kind of feel like damn,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about things like Deliverance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Smoking the Bandit.
Mm-hmm.
And Cannonball Run.
Yep.
Sharky's Machine. I'm not even hitting all the great ones.
Yeah.
I'm just hitting all the ones I remember.
Right.
Longest Yard.
Longest Yard. That's an awesome
Sure.
one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
sure.
that was so good they did a really bad remake of it.
And he was in that too.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those guys, and he was like one of those real man's man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was like the everyman's Marlon Brando because he kind of resembled when he was younger Marlon Brando.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But also just kind of like he had a swagger to him that just doesn't exist nowadays.
He had a charisma that it didn't matter what he was doing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was the same basic guy like in everything, whether it was
Oh, yeah.
comedy or drama to a degree, like at a certain point in his career. But it didn't matter. Like you bought him. You just bought him as like he wasn't doing a whole lot like in Cannonball Run
No.
besides chewing gum, smiling, and
laugh-
charming,
and
and
laughing at Tom DeLuise.
laughing high pitched and just having a fucking blast. But that's what's great about it. That's what's
Right.
amazing about it. That's what. He was like
He's the
infectious.
he's the cocky guy that
yeah.
walks into the bar and
Yeah.
takes over the room.
Yeah, center of attention without even trying.
Give him a movie.
Right.
And he just walks in and
Yeah.
does himself.
Yeah, and just
know?
charming as fuck, and like,
Just
A
always,
character-
always
a-
thinking he's got this. I got this.
yeah,
Whatever it is,
yeah,
I got this.
Yeah,
I
he's got
this.
it. But and in the end, yeah, he does. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's not some guy like, somebody like Clooney or something where it feels like, you're like a guy where like
You're working.
you'd be cool to talk to, but I don't feel like you're a guy like I'm gonna have like. Any real bonding go on or something. I
no.
almost feel like with Burt, like even at his probably like maybe most burnt out from work or whatever. Like
Like you can sit down and have a beer with him.
yeah, like it just feels
Like-
real and approachable. Like you
Right.
know. So it's a sad day. It's a sad time. The one thing this made me think about, just in general, because I wasn't expecting to hear it, although I should have, because in the last couple of things he did, I'm like, oh my god, he looks like he's getting so old.
Yeah.
But he's at 82 years old, and it just makes you feel like, wow, I wonder, like, we're going to be hitting a lot of these kinds of people soon. Like, where
Yeah,
a lot of people
yeah.
are up there that are still around, and it's almost like, well, are they all waiting to go on the same day? Like,
Yeah, I will say, and it is fitting.
Yeah.
I think that, he just had a movie come out about 6 months ago. It was written and directed by Adam Rifkin. It was really a passion project.
Right.
It's called The Last Movie Star, and it's about a guy who's basically Burt Reynolds, a 70s acting icon who kind of, has lost a little bit of luster
right.
and gets the chance to be honored at a film festival in
Yeah.
Tennessee, and he goes and realizes that it's a little more rinky-dink
Yeah.
than he thought it was going to be.
Like these guys kind of slap it together
Yeah.
in order to get
Yeah.
this time with him kind of a thing.
Yeah, he thinks it's a proper festival, and it's just a bunch of college guys hanging around a bar.
But it's one of these kind of bittersweet melancholy kind of things, at least from the one trailer I saw. I know there's
Yeah.
comedy there too, don't get me wrong, but it plays up right into, where he's at,
Yeah.
even though, like, he's not at that kind of fadedness that the character is at. But,
But I think it's the perfect send-off for him. And, like,
Yeah.
the fact that this happened, I would not be surprised if you hear some kind of awards buzz
oh, yeah.
for that movie.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know what, maybe a Golden Globe nod or something
Some
like that.
bullshit, yeah.
But, like, it's free to stream on Amazon if you have Amazon Prime, so
There
with
you
a
go.
subscription, or you can get it on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, all those fun stuff.
There you go. All right. So condolences, rest in peace, Burt Stroker.
Yeah.
Now him and
Dom DeLuise.
Dom DeLuise now laughing away.
Yeah.
Having some good times.
Yeah.
All right. So
Dun, dun, dun. Captain Chaos.
right. Well, from one captain to another, segue time.
Yeah.
Got some images this week finally of Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Entertainment Weekly got the scoop. Put
Yeah.
out some images.
I gotta say, I just saw the cover picture,
Sure.
and I gotta say, it's probably the best looking Entertainment Weekly cover I've seen in a long time. It's so
Right.
bright, colorful.
Yeah.
Not just her popping out.
Right.
The entire background is like, I mean, it was just really, really good. That's what I thought.
Cool.
Yeah, and you see in these images, you see her full blown in her costume, and
You get a shot of Nick Fury, younger Nick Fury
See,
with
you-
2 eyes.
yeah, you see a young Nick Fury. You get to see, her and Jude Law's character. And you realize there's a bunch of other people, and it looks like they look like almost like Green Lantern costumes.
Yeah.
But meeting up with Ronan the Executioner, so they have something to do with the Kree. Yeah. There's it's just really cool. I see this movie coming together. I'm excited for it.
Got to see some Skrulls.
The Skrulls, yes.
Yeah. Well, I think right now, whatever Marvel touches is gonna be gold.
Seems that way, man.
And they're gonna be, and instead of
Yeah.
things like feeling like a house of cards is going to crumble, you just become more confident that they're going to keep doing more and more and do better and better things. Because it seems like they have that kind of support where it's like, at this point, it's just like, all right, whatever you want,
Yes.
you got. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to make, it doesn't matter as far as Disney's concerned. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
They're making, what, $2 billion movies.
Well, also, like, I'm looking at the Skrulls right now, and, like, it looks like straight up makeup. There's not.
Oh, it's prosthetic.
Yeah, it's prosthetic. There's not, digital enhancement, and it looks real. It looks solid. Top of the line Star Trek aliens.
Whoa.
Probably better even.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, depends on which Star Trek aliens we're talking about, what era. There's a lot. There's a lot of variables with that statement. You can't just say something like that.
But I don't know. Looks like a Discovery Klingon to me.
That's what they, you know what I mean? Paint them green.
But I have a thing about practical versus CGI.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, who doesn't? Anyone who's smart realizes that practical.
Well, especially with
is
face stuff, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the pictures look amazing. They look really good. I think it's a thing where we'll just hold on a second.
Looks good. Looks good.
Yeah.
Very hopeful for
I got nothing
good
else.
things.
Yeah.
what I mean?
It's a lot of positive. There was a little bit of conversation stuff that came out of the article around it. I don't think there's a lot of nuggets of content there, but go seek it out. I mean, you do get a little more confirmation on like character motivations, but it's that vague shit that has like no real story points to it. Although you do see her in a jet fighter with another fighter pilot.
Monica Rambeau.
Right, but it's not Monica. It's changed. It's something else.
It's Maria.
So now Monica Rambeau is somebody else who was called Captain Marvel for a while. Very different character, different power set, not involved in space aliens.
Okay.
And her shit was like light-based photon stuff.
Right.
So
she
they,
had like a black and white suit, right?
yeah, African American, with a black and white costume. I think she ran with West Coast Avengers for a while. Point being, she ends up changing her name to Photon when the Captain Marvel mantle gets, in the history of the comics, gets
When it moves
returned
over? Yeah.
when it moves back over to Carol Danvers. So that's why that character's fighter jet says Photon on the side. That's her handle.
Yeah.
Can't all be Maverick. So that's that, and that's it.
So it looks like it's going to be an origin. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an origin story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely going to be. Well, it's not to a degree. It's
Not
going to
a straight
set
up.
up. Yeah, but that's what they're saying. Oh, it's not going to be straight up origin. You're going to get kind of inserted in the middle. A little less of more like how Spider-Man kind of like. It's like everything you need to know, kind of.
Yeah.
But with this, it'll be more of like you'll be informed as you go, kind of a thing. Like
Right.
And basically she gets called back to Earth.
Right.
Is the thing.
Well, I could definitely see now that you're saying that, like a Nick Fury being the one walking into the room where you're meeting her for the first time, talking to somebody, explaining who they're meeting, and,
Right, it's that
and,
kind
the,
of shit.
and the stuff that happened beforehand.
Yeah, hopefully it's not as clunky as like just exposition, but if you don't want to do
Well, it'll be it'll be Nick Fury doing the exposition. So
right, it'll be a lot of motherfuckers.
yeah, Samuel L.
that's
Jackson.
yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson. So it'll be exposition with a little style.
There you go.
Exactly.
So with that, I think that kind of wraps up the news.
Yeah.
Because that's all we pulled out.
Yeah, I was digging, and I really couldn't find anything that really sung to me that was anything different. I knew you guys were going to talk about
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds and
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
For sure. So I was like, I don't know. I couldn't find much.
So
Check game.
check it. We'll just go see what those kids did for us. See if they had any fun with it.
This could be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
So the theme it was one lie and one truth.
Right.
So all right. So let's just go through. James.
I don't even know if I want to use James's because I told him to do an A and a B, and he won't follow the rules. Where's his start and where does his end?
I think I could tell by the ampersand in the middle.
Fine.
So, this is a thing. I used to be a driver for a hooker.
Palmer, don't put it in the A and the B for him now. That's not. You're not. Well, then again, I don't know how much editing Palmer might have done for all of these. That's to be fair,
right,
I really
so-
don't know.
So A,
Yeah.
he used to be a driver for a hooker. Or B, he used to smoke for free because he had 3 weed plants growing in his closet. I don't
Well,
know if
either one of these, from what I've known of him, feels more
Feels like truth.
well, it feels true, but at the same time, like, oh, secrets revealed. Like, didn't think he smoked weed,
Well,
but not to say that means anything. Just kind of presumed.
well, can you grow weed in a closet? I thought it would need sunlight.
No, yeah, that's how that goes. You bring a light, you bring a grow light, a special lamp.
Oh.
You know, like how you would grow tomatoes indoors or something like that.
See, I'm learning something new every day.
Oh man,
Every time
hydroponics, baby. If you really want to get into it, but 3 weed plants in a closet. That's about right. That fact kind of fits.
See, driving for a hooker sounds like something that's really cool to tell people, but doesn't seem like the execution is very fun at all.
As someone who was a cab driver in New York City, I could tell you it's really not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, to just be a driver for a hooker kind of implies that she'd have to be a busy hooker.
Right. Well, see, when you say that, I think in New York City, the equivalent to that really is like the strip club girl who does things on the side.
A hooker who also strips.
Right. Basically.
No,
but
I know what
you
you're
know what I
saying.
mean?
Yeah.
And the club has a car that takes them around.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what I think of.
Yeah.
You know, and in that sense, it's kind of cool, and I could see it actually happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can even see it happen on a small, not even in the city. I could just see it happening with a girl who just, he happens to know through whatever, and she's a hooker, and she's like, look, I need a guy to fucking drive me around to some of these calls. It's the beeper era. Maybe it's back when pagers were hot, and it's like, I just, you're not my John, but maybe if you have to fucking knock somebody out, I'll give you an extra 50.
Yeah, but like, you gotta stay in the car and wait that whole time. You can't like go around the block to McDonald's and come back.
Like, is this shift pay? Is it by the hour?
Yeah.
Is this
Am I getting a percentage?
You know what I mean? Like, what if it's a dead night? Are you gonna tell me, look, like we need a base. It's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go around and pick which one we're thinking.
I want it to be A, so I'm gonna say A.
Okay, Bob.
I was going to go that way, but then I realized, as I was saying that might just sound too good to be true, and that's why it's there. So
Right.
I'm going to go with B because I've known people who've done B.
Yeah, similarly, I'm gonna go with B. I just kind of feel like that kind of fits. It sits right. I can see maybe it's either one is something he did a long time ago when he was younger, for sure. Like, nothing is from a couple of weeks ago.
All right.
But that says A. We both say B. So we're going to pull the answer out of our buddy James.
Are we gonna wait for it? Or are we gonna move on?
Well, I think what we should do is just say that we're going to stall a little bit. But if it was the weed plants, I'd be surprised. Now I'm overthinking it because I'm like, I don't know. Has he talked much about pot culture at all? Like,
Just because someone doesn't talk about it doesn't mean.
A is the truth and B is the lie. Ed takes that one.
There we
Gee, so
go.
he used
All
to
right.
drive for a hooker. Oh, man. So if you want to elaborate on that, James, put that in there. We'll come back to you at the end, and we'll get some truth from you on that. So next one up is John Thompson.
All right. So A, I clean up after little kids. B, I smoke a lot of pot. Now, I happen to know this answer
Yeah.
because we're friends with him.
Right.
And
Yeah.
So I think
didn't-
Bob
yeah.
should be the one to guess this one.
Yeah, Bob's gonna have to go this one alone, actually. But yeah, I know the answer to this one
All
too.
right, so repeat it again.
A, I clean up after little kids. B, I smoke a lot of pot.
Actually, I think both are true.
Wow. It is possible, I guess, but
Really, because I think he does work with kids and he needs to smoke a lot.
right, because I need that at the end of the day.
If you had to pick one.
Right.
I'm going to say A.
All right, he's gonna say Ed that he cleans up after little kids, and we can just cut right to the chase and say yes.
Yes.
That is the case.
Yes, he works at a janitor at a public school.
Right. He works at a janitor public school. Let's go back to James. James says,
Is this now the time when I can let you guys know that I actually kind of vaguely
remember him
that?
saying saying something during the show?
Well, no. Well, I think we've discussed it.
Okay, I might have mentioned it.
So one of those kind of rang right.
Yeah, subconsciously.
I didn't really know but it felt like, oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So James, going back to, it says, I'd make $80 a trip to sit in the hotel parking lot with a machete, waiting for her to come back out of the John's room.
See that?
$80 a trip. So she did 3 or 4 a night. He did all right.
Yeah. I just want to know that if is that just whether or not you got to use the machete or not, John. It's just $80.
Yeah, she's probably getting at least 300, and give him 80 a pop.
80 a trip. Yeah, to cut him 80 a trip, she was doing all right, I think.
Yeah. She's not doing a 50-50 split with him.
No.
And she's not a cheap prostitute. So
I feel like the machete might be like a thing where it's like overkill.
Well,
Because I think that's a thing you pick for pure threat level.
yes.
yeah.
But like,
yeah.
that feels like a movie that goes out of control. It's a movie that goes out of control. It's like,
Yeah.
fine, okay, I'll help you out.
Yeah.
All I got is this machete. I don't have a gun.
'Cause,
And
like-
then by the end, it goes bad. He's got to use the fucking machete.
Because I could see James being the kind of guy who has a permit for a gun, has a license to carry a weapon.
But maybe sharp enough to know I shouldn't take that.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't, or he just might not want to have it on him. In
Yeah.
case-
This is James Behan we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he probably has also had a few while he's sitting there waiting for her. It's
Maybe he just
doesn't
knows,
Want, he doesn't.
you know?
Yeah, he doesn't want to be holding.
He's
gun.
responsible enough to know,
No
like,
offense, James.
look, I got enough in me.
Yeah.
You're a hooker as it is. We don't need to put a
Yeah,
gun in this
really-
vehicle.
Yeah, you really.
You know what I mean? At this point, there might be blood on the tire iron already. Like,
yeah.
All right, so,
This could be the entire thing, the entire job, the job that gave him his alcohol addiction.
right. We'll kill it
don't
all
know.
that time.
We don't know.
So
right.
let's go to Wesley.
Leslie, I have won a large costume contest.
Mm-hmm.
Or B, I own the one ring to rule them all.
Well, they were selling that on eBay. So
Well, I mean, yeah, you're not the only guy.
yeah.
It's not the one ring.
So what was the other one?
A was I have won a large costume contest.
I'm gonna go with that one because I know if you can find it on eBay, it's not something you should be boasting about.
Now, my question is:
That's my logic.
yeah,
Right.
Is it a contest of a large number of people wearing costumes, or is it a
Right.
contest of large people wearing costumes?
Or just large costumes.
Or is
Yeah.
this you in your apartment with your
Yeah.
friends going, dude, you're gonna rock at
Yeah.
Comic-Con.
Right,
They're all
right,
doing
right.
like the sumo wrestler one
Yeah.
where it's got like the hula hoop around it. to
Sure.
make you- yeah.
Right. Of all large-sized people
Yeah.
versus I'm a short guy, but I have an actual sized Optimus Prime costume that I climb into.
Yeah.
These kinds of things.
Great Office episode where they go to the company picnic.
Oh my God.
And Andy,
Just more uncomfortable shit. Yes, I remember.
yeah, Andy's in the samurai costume floating in the lake at night at the end of the episode.
Well, my thinking on this is that I think he was hard pressed maybe for an option B and came up with it's obviously that I don't really own the one ring.
Yeah.
Right.
And even if he does mean a prop, I still think it's the large costume contest because I know he's crafty. And I've seen him do some costume stuff. I know he's made like prop staffs. So I know that he's into it. Oh, shit.
Oh, thanks, Palmer, for
Yeah.
highlighting it before we all had a chance to chime in.
Yeah, but he kind of jumped the gun a little bit on that one. But it is the one ring to rule them all,
Okay.
it turns out.
Is it a prop from the movie, or did he?
Yeah, let us know. He says that he hates that he didn't win that contest. So I guess there was some partial truth. He was in a large costume contest. What was your large costume, Wesley? Let us know.
All right, Agent Palmer.
Okay.
So, A,
Yes.
Mumra is assisting me behind the scenes this evening. Or B, I'm watching 2 football games as I do this. Well, I will say, I hope one of those games is not Ohio State versus Rutgers, because I saw some of that before I came here this evening.
Right.
And that was disgusting. I try getting into college football. The closest team here would be like Army or Rutgers. And like, no, I'm sorry. This is embarrassing. It's like 35-0 at the half. What are you doing?
I was watching the Gamecocks game at work today. I was like, what am I watching?
Cock game?
Gamecocks. It's like the Georgia Gamecocks.
Yeah.
All I could think of was, gee, they need to really reconsider some of these names.
So what do you think about Palmer's...
Do we really need to answer this one?
Well, a part of me is waiting patiently for my turn. So I just want to make sure that you get yours.
Okay. I'm going to say, I see. I'm going to say it's B. Because, we know behind the scenes what's going on with Mumra.
Because, well, that's what I mean. A.
So I don't think we should be.
Yeah. And then B sounds like a really irresponsible thing for a producer to do during a live broadcast. So, since it's Agent Palmer, that must be true.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we're going to go with B.
And unanimous.
Yeah.
Notice he's taking his time for highlighting the answer.
Yeah, to that one. Very good, though. So,
yeah.
All right, well, so we got a couple of rounds on this, I guess. We kept on going around a little bit.
Yeah.
John Zombie John's next one. I loved Mad Max Fury Road.
Mm-hmm.
Or B, he hated Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Ooh.
Wow, I was going to say A until he said what B was.
Right.
So
he loved Fury Road or hated Thunderdome.
Yeah, I didn't like Thunderdome at all, so I got to go with B.
Yeah.
I see. I'm gonna say because I can understand someone hating Thunderdome,
right?
But someone not loving Fury Road, I don't
know.
That seems like a
that was actually a decent one.
Mm-hmm.
I like the dude with the guitar. Excuse me. Surprise.
So I'm gonna say A is the truth.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, because I guess the implication then is if he is B, is the truth, it means that A is not true, and that's not cool, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna go with A, just that he loved Mad Max.
Yeah.
And so just to follow as we wait for the response on that one. Palmer now has basically saying that both A and B are correct answers for his, that Mumra is assisting behind the scenes and he's watching 2 football games as he does this. So then...
Explain that to me.
Well, once again, not abiding by the rules at all.
Oh, yeah.
Because giving us 2 true answers, basically.
And this is why he'll never become full staff.
And so
what has he done?
What he's done is he's messaged me a picture of his toy Mumra figure that is on his keyboard. And
so he was very cleverly manipulating
the answer a little bit,
yeah.
But I don't know how Mumra is actually helping. It's a toy. It's not real.
Hey, it's a spirit, man. It's giving him the positive vibes that he needs.
Is it an ancient spirit of evil?
Yeah. Well, it's positive waves.
Ancient spirit of evil.
Yeah.
At least Bob got the bit.
Okay. Oh, and also James is pointing out that the game you were watching before, Bob, was the Georgia Bulldogs versus the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Does it really matter who the Gamecocks were? I'm kidding. But
I don't think we should have dogs and cocks in the same room.
I'm saying the people of South Carolina might have been offended.
That's true.
So we had dogs fighting roosters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
This
right?
sounds illegal.
Yeah.
This sounds like something.
And where was
like,
Michael Vick?
I was just gonna say, fuck. I was gonna say this sounds like something Michael Vick does on vacation in Mexico.
Yeah, and James, as a Georgia fan, he enjoyed that 41-point win. Wow.
Okay. Enough with the fucking sports talk.
Okay.
I wasn't really paying attention.
No,
I was just
I
like, why is there a team named Gamecocks?
I figured that was the main reason.
Yeah.
Once you said that, I was like, oh, that's where we're going.
So
that's why we're talking about it.
Zombies John said that he does love Mad Max Fury Road.
All right.
So he doesn't hate Thunderdome.
It's a decent movie. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
It's a fun ride.
Yeah. So next up is also Zombie John.
Okay.
So A, I'm listening to this podcast and nothing else. Or B, I'm only thinking about eating cheese right now.
Like as if all he can only think about is eating cheese.
Yes.
I'm going to say A is the truth.
I'm going to say B is the truth. Because I'm thinking he's probably listening to us. He might have something on TV, like muted in the background. And you could have both of those going and only be thinking about eating cheese. I've done so myself at times.
So you're saying both are true?
No, I'm saying B is true. I'm saying that he's doing something else besides listening to us.
Right.
I'm saying he's a super fan who wants to kiss our ass, and He wants to make sure we know that that's all he's doing is thinking about our show.
Right. I feel like he thinks a lot about cheese. I think there's just something about him. Like, that's one of those things, like, he just ponders for hours at a time. Like, how do the holes get in the Swiss cheese? Do they have to hire a guy to get them in?
Well, like, do you think
Is the cheese really soft and someone kind of gets a straw?
Now, do you think he's just like a straight up cheddar guy, or do you think he gets into like the fancy stuff like the brie and the Gruyere and all that?
Oh, he ain't fancy. If it ain't like out of the first 4 available at the deli counter, he's not going deep. So what are we thinking? I'm going cheese.
Okay.
You guys already guessed, right?
Yeah, I said cheese.
All right, because I saw that Palmer's asking for the answer. Right?
Wow. Okay, so he's saying that A was the truth. He's listening to this podcast and nothing else, and he was not thinking about eating cheese.
I was right. He's kissing our ass.
There we go. So next one, another Zombie John.
Oh, okay.
See?
I like this one. Ed, can I take this one?
Sure.
Okay. John Zombie John's offering one lie, one truth.
Okay.
A,
All right.
Shazam is Captain Marvel.
That's a no good
Or
dirty
B,
lie.
Carol Danvers is Captain Marvel.
All right.
One is a lie, and one is the truth.
I mean,
No, I think they're both the truth.
I think technically B is true. Technically. Carol Danvers is a Captain Marvel. This is...
But not the Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Because,
Shazam is not Captain Marvel. Shazam is the wizard that gives Billy Batson the
look at you
power
with the Larry loophole.
to become Captain Marvel.
That's
All
true.
right.
That's true.
You know,
wow. And John knows his shit. He could be playing on that technicality level.
Yeah. You know, now everyone calls him Shazam, which is stupid because your name should not be the magic word that you say that you have to say to turn to someone else. Because what if you say that name by accident?
Yeah, we don't like Presto the Magician.
Yeah, that's Captain Marvel Jr.'s gig.
It's almost like having a character who does magic whose name is Abracadabra, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, his name was just Kadabra.
Oh,
He was a flash filler.
right, because the Abra was just, putting too much of a nose on it. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna agree with Ed
What are we talking about again?
that B, Carol Danvers is Captain Marvel.
Well, I say they're both Captain Marvel.
Bob is not exactly wrong.
Well, technically, Shazam isn't Captain Marvel
That's
anymore.
true. That's true. It was just Captain Marvel who said Shazam. Shazam was the name of the wizard.
Yes.
Convenient. But now he's Shazam.
Yes. Evidently.
And Carol Danvers wasn't always
No.
the Marvel Captain Marvel. So technically, we're going at what seems to be phrased about right now. Shazam, not Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Carol Danvers is Captain Marvel. Enough about that.
All right.
So what is it? What's the fucking answer, Zombie John?
Yeah. What's your quote unquote answer?
It's B.
Yeah, it's big. It's big.
It's B. All right.
It's Carol.
I'm moving on. Carol. I'm moving on.
Wesley Ryan Gaskins has one.
I have two.
Thank you.
I have too many projects.
Or B.
I have too many Harry Potter wands.
I will say not enough O's.
This could still be both.
Yeah.
I'd say, what was A again?
Well, what if his projects are the Harry Potter ones, right?
Well, I think of it this way: if he has a lot of Harry Potter wands,
Those
that are his projects, and he has other projects besides that,
Right.
I would say it has to be A. It has to be he has too many projects, and one of them happens
Subjective
to be
too. Like
See,
what is too
but
many?
I think if the Harry Potter wands could be one of his multiple projects,
Right.
and thus be both A and B.
These guys and these answers, right?
But how many wands is too many wands?
That's what I was going to say. It's kind of subjective,
Well,
right?
technically, Harry Potter only had one wand.
Right,
Then
right.
Hermione had hers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the redheaded.
Well, he'd be a real knucklehead if he kept on making the same one
Well,
over and over, unless he
I-
was just trying to perfect it.
If anyone who's read Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows,
Yeah.
I could go up, but I'm not going to, because I think you guys would be bored with that conversation. Because
You're a wizard, Harry.
there's like a point where he loses his wand and he has to steal somebody else's. So like technically, I think he had like 2 or 3 wands. Over the
And he's a
course of that
thief. Is what you're saying? He's a little fucking
he
thief.
basically only had ownership of one wand.
Yeah.
And Hermione had hers, and
Right. I'm gonna say
Harold, whatever his name
that
was, had the other one.
he might be playing us as one of those. Hey, it's both of them. But I'm gonna say that he's got too many projects. I got a feeling that like after you make
I don't know, because you got to remember too that as a grown man, admitting that you have a lot of Harry Potter wands is not exactly a manly.
But I feel like how many's too many? Like you buy one for each character, or you make one for each character, and then like what? You just keep on buying them like more. I think you buy the right amount pretty quickly.
That's why he makes these things. So
Yeah.
Even if he makes them or buys them, either way.
Yeah,
like,
and making them is really hard because you don't see unicorn tail feather.
that's what I was gonna
tails,
say. Like
Or I'm sorry, phoenix tail feathers or like unicorn hair.
Right.
Or dragon heart strings. Those
Right.
things aren't lying around, and that's what's in. One of those three things is in the core of every wand.
actually, I could have bought a set of 6 Dragonheart strings when I was at the music store today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Just
see. So he gave us his answer there in the chat room, Ed. What does he say?
A is true, B is false.
Oh.
Is 15 wands too many? I don't think so. I can't have too many. I don't make them, just buy them.
Yeah, you see how that goes? So in B,
so yeah, it is
it's
actually.
subjective. You know what I mean? Like, what's too many, really?
Yeah.
Like, what's too many dildos in your butthole? I mean, it's what you can fit, really, right? I mean,
Well, I think on that one, too many would be the one that causes you to bleed.
right, the one that is the straw that broke the camel's hump.
Yeah.
right.
So last two are zombie.
Okay, we got
last
two more.
Last two are both zombie John.
Alrighty.
Of course.
So, A, I'm wearing a Bugs Bunny costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or B, I'm just sitting in my living room.
I want them both to be true.
I do.
I think he's sitting in his room in a bunny costume.
Just listening to us eating slices of cheese. But I want
Holding
it.
a carrot that's not necessarily
I
orange.
pictured like the Kraft single slices, and he's got the bunny mitts,
And
and
they're
it's
all
like all kind of gooey, and it's not working, and it's like you
He's
remember
eating
when like
everything with hair.
yeah, you remember when like Dan Aykroyd eats the fish in Trading Places,
Yeah.
and he's got the Santa beard on, and the beard hair is all caught, and pulls it away. Like I picture like something like that.
if he said he was wearing a Bugs Bunny T-shirt, I think that might be true.
Right.
That might
right.
also-
Right.
Yeah. Just like Kraft singles, like unless those are in a grilled cheese sandwich, and even then, like
Yeah. I'm gonna say the safe bet is that B.
See, I think now, after talking about this, I have this picture of him wearing a Bugs Bunny suit, doing that stupid Bugs Bunny dance you always see on the commercial.
Right.
With the flipping feet around. That's it now. That's stuck. Thank you.
smoking pot.
You're welcome.
Getting ready to leave and clean the bathrooms at the school.
Yeah. So I'm going B.
All right.
That I'm not buying the Bugs Bunny costume. If you're wearing a Bugs Bunny costume right now and listening to this show, you're a freak. But dedicated fan.
So A is the lie.
Okay.
B is true.
No costume.
Sitting in his living room.
All right.
Good for him.
So what do we got there for the last one?
So from Zombie John,
Hey.
I have a lot of pop figures. That's A.
Okay.
B is I don't have any toys.
A.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen him buy pop vinyls.
This is the guy that voluntarily helped to move Comic Book Jones.
Again, it's a thing with like what's a lot, but I know that he has them.
Yeah.
I know he's got some. He's got to have some.
Yeah.
Got to. I'm believing it. I'm believing that he's got pop figures like probably like exclusive variants that like you didn't even know they made. Like Kissinger.
Henry Kissinger.
Well, Henry Kissinger.
The cast of Network.
Yes, right. Good stuff like that.
A is
He's
true.
got the Nosferatu one.
So A is true.
A is true. He has a lot of pop toys.
Yeah.
A lot of pop figures.
Bowerfett just threw the weirdest comment in the chat.
Okay.
I don't know if he's playing the game or what.
He may not know. He's coming in late.
He says, watching foghorn leghorn porn. See here, boy, just trying to educate you.
That's got to be something in my Bugs Bunny reference.
See here, boy. I'm just trying to show you how to put it in a hole, boy. I
see,
said, boy. All the you got a mouth like an outboard motor all the time. I said, boy, you about as sharp as a sack of wet mice.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a classic one.
That's a classic. That's the only two I can remember.
Foghorn.
I wish I had a bag of those, I'll tell
Oh
you.
yeah, they're awesome.
Foghorn, Leghorn porn.
Yep. Boy, you're a chicken hawk. that's all I know on that one. All right.
All right. Wow.
Good times had by
Yeah.
some.
I know what we're doing next.
What are we doing next? What are we doing?
Same thing we always do this time, Pinky.
A little bit of the old meanwhile?
Yes.
Meanwhile. So to kind of bring it back around, if anybody might have missed it or they're into it, Ozark Season 2 is up on Netflix right now. The intensity continues. Jason Bateman's just fucking great in that. But this time around, the family gets, like, I mean, I'm sure they had their time to shine too in the first season, but like, it really, the wife and the kids get some meaty storylines in it. I mean, it's him and the wife, really. Don't get me wrong, in the show. And the kids are there, but what's great is that they don't, it's not one of those shows where like, oh, you guys are going to be doing crazy illegal shit and the kids are just going to be going like, no, they keep it real. The kids figure shit out right away. You can't hide stuff like this in this kind of a house. Great stuff. I'm not going to oversell it.
Okay.
But if you're into it, go check it out. If you haven't tried it yet, I feel like episode 1, it's got a lot of great stuff in it that will pull you in.
Is that show very depressing? It looks like it could be really
It looks like it could be depressing. It's not depressing. It's not bleak. I know like everything's kind of filmed like overcast and a little darkish. But it's not bleak. I will say that like it is a thing that like it's one of those shows where the ball is always rolling and it's kind of like every time I take a step forward, I end up taking 2 steps back. Like, I'm trying to fix this problem and we almost get there and it gets kind of screwed. But a lot of those fucking twists, a lot of those mechanics are actually twisty. You don't see him coming as easy as you do on some other shows. Yeah. And sometimes it's really just interesting to watch him work his way through it, like as a character. Like one of the things I love about the first episode, not to get into why, but he's got to take out all this money he's got in the bank, which is like millions and millions of dollars, right? Like he's got to get it out now, like in cash. And like the bank is not going to do that, like, but it's his fucking money. So by the time he gets to the bank, it's like he's there with his bags and like the pressure is on. Like people are going to die if he doesn't get this fucking cash out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so he's got to fucking like the money is the money is mine. So it's this whole crazy exchange where he's got to put all the fucking pressure on and like spin in the moment. Like, what am I going to say? How can I like convince these guys / threaten them to just fucking make this happen? Like, go get me the money from your other banks then. Like, you know what I mean? By law, like, you can't keep this from me. Yeah. Like, and it's that kind of shit, So, really recommend that. That's from season 1. That's episode 1. And I also want to tell people that show that they may not have seen because I never saw it. And I found it this week, the Chris Gethard Show. Ooh. So Chris Gethard, if you don't know, is kind of like a comedian type dude. He's an improv-y kind of guy. He comes from that world.
He has a podcast where people just call in randomly who he doesn't know and just like he'll interview them for 60 minutes and then like boom, he's done.
Yeah, I got to check that out now that I know about that because I'm interested. Because I like him. He's cool and all, but like what I like on the show is just kind of like this wacky looseness of it all. And it's not like improv all the time, but it is like here's some situations, we're going to do some things, like we don't know which way it's going to go, like for real. Like we don't know how this is going to work out. And so I think it's season 2 that I found by accident was an episode that got me pulled in. And he rolls in a dumpster and he's like, okay. So inside this, and they film it with a live audience. It looks very early MTV. It's like a shitty set on purpose. Right. All these young people sitting around. And he's like, we roll in this dumpster. And it's like, there's something in this dumpster. And you guys are all going to ask questions. We're going to try and suss out what's in there. And he had, I forget, Paul, what's his name, from comedian, Paul Scheer. Okay. And what's the guy, Mostatakis, or what's his name, the Greek guy?
Jason Matsoukis.
Jason Matsoukis. Had these 2 nut jobs.
Oh, my God.
Couldn't have picked 2 more extra animated fucking, the comedy does not stop. Couple of guys.
They're from.
I was exasperated watching it.
They're from How Did This Get Made? Yeah. I could just see Matsuka.
They take over the show. They take over the show.
This incredible dumpster what could be in there?
Right. Yeah, like bullshit gets way too deep into it, and then it turns into, you know what? We're taking off this show. Now it's cash or trash, and like it becomes a show within the show. But the whole thing being like, so it's a lot of like, yes, no kinds of questions, kind of thing to get us to like what's in this dumpster, and if we don't find out, if no one guesses it. Like, we're going to roll it off stage, and no one will ever know what was actually in here. But he's like, trust me, it's cool. Like, you know what I mean?
You want to figure this out.
You want to figure this out. This will be cool. This will be fun. Like, you know what I mean? And so it kind of ratchets up. They have a lot of fun with it, but it keeps kind of getting to a point where, like, oh, okay, we're getting closer. It's a great build for an episode. It almost like one of those episodes, like, really good, and it might let you down for other episodes. Because it's like, if this is the bit you did this week, what could you have done much better in the past? So anyway, if anything, search out that one episode with the dumpster and those guys. It builds. There's a nice payoff. It's really worth it. It was a good time. I had a great time. The Chris Gethard Show on YouTube. It ran on True TV. It's probably canceled by now. It ran for like 2 or 3 seasons.
2 seasons, it was canceled.
First season, they were like a half an hour each. Second season went to an hour. He's always got well-known guests and comedians. I watched one of the half-hour episodes from season 1. They have Will Ferrell on, and they're marrying people for real. But it's just like it's bullshit. It's real, but it's bullshit. Well, Agent Palmer put a link to the episode in the chat room. So if anybody wants to check that out later,
cool. It was on True TV.
It was on True TV. So that's going to round it out for me. Ed, what did you see, watch, and or consume via your brain apparatus this week?
So, really quick, I just do want to address Thomas K.S. in the chat. If we're going to talk about Iron Fist, and it's been out a day.
I forgot all about it.
Yeah, have not seen it yet.
I'll give you the Palmer report.
Okay.
We'll give him a little from the Agent Palmer news desk.
Okay. But
I'm sure he'll follow it up in the chat room. But I believe what he was telling me over the phone was that he's liking it better than season 1. You can feel it's got a better structure. It's better put together. It's everything you kind of want to happen. And they're doing a kind of an interesting thing where, like, they're keeping a little bit of info back. Like, they're not handing you everything right away. So they're switching up the way they do a little storytelling. They're trying to be a little more captivating or obfuscation. Obfusificationized.
Effusive?
That too. So I'm sure Palmer will give out his little scoop inside the chat room. He's 7 episodes in. Yeah. But yeah, I totally forgot about it. When he called me last night, he was like, oh, did you watch? I'm like, shit. Forgot all about it.
Well, I watched another Netflix show.
Oh, that's nice. That's the Netflix episode around here.
I caught up on season 2 of Glow.
Glow.
Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling with Allison Brie and
Glow music
and Mark Maron. Yeah. And yeah, it was. I thought this season built a lot from season 1. Really got into the character stuff. Like, the show is going on, and they're struggling to keep it afloat.
Okay.
And there's a lot of high drama that goes on. I think Mark Maron gives like an awards-worthy performance in this. He really is something. And every character, I think, gets their moment. You really see the arcs. I just enjoyed it. And in the middle of this, we have wrestling, and there's a lot more wrestling in this season than there was in the previous season.
Okay. Well, the league should be taking off, right? I mean, I didn't watch it through to the very end.
Yeah.
Of that season.
They're on a regional cable station.
Right.
And they're again, it's them trying to find their audience and trying not to get canceled.
Right.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Okay.
And I went to the movies.
I went to the movies
this week to see I
saw a movie while I was there.
Yeah. So
I went to the movies.
Yes, I did.
In my popcorn there was a little hair.
Cool.
All right, so that's it. I'm done.
I saw Operation Finale.
Oh, okay.
This is it's been out for a little while.
Right.
Hasn't really made a big splash.
I hear it's about Nazis.
Well, it's about Jews.
Kids love it.
It's about Jews hunting Nazis.
Even better.
takes place in
It's like Inglourious Bastard 2.
yeah, takes place in the early '60s. Mossad, the Israeli intelligence organization,
Nice.
gets wind that Adolf Eichmann, who was the head of the German SS during World War II, and was basically the guy who carried out all of the plans for the Holocaust.
Right.
May be living in Argentina. Yeah, and they go. Oscar Isaac leads this cast.
Right. Seen some trailers.
Yeah.
Looks pretty serious and
Yeah.
intense.
Ben Kingsley.
It's hard for me to be silly right now. I'm just gonna say it.
It's a good movie. And I enjoyed it. You know what I like about this movie?
As you smile broadly, yes.
You know what I like about this movie? You know how most spy movies,
Yeah.
like even back to the James Bond,
Sure.
like everything is really meticulous. You could tell like this is a well put together organization.
Right.
You know, like these guys are very serious. You know, they're looking at stuff on computer screens. They have all these files. all
Well,
this
yeah, a
detailed
lot of work. You
information.
see the work, yeah.
Yeah, you see like all the work and the professionalism and the suits and everything. In this Mossad, doesn't feel as much like a intelligence organization
Right.
as it does like a family-owned furniture store.
Well, but we get it done.
It's like,
you know.
hey, we found out this guy might be in Argentina. Why don't you go check this out? Why don't you go?
Go take a look. Find out. I don't know.
Yeah, the one guy's got this like beach shirt, just
All right.
this like button-down shirt, and like Nick Kroll's in it, and
I
there's
saw.
yeah. And what's funny is like he's a serious character, but they give him all the jokes, and there's this like little run of hacky Jewish jokes.
Okay, that just feels out of place at a certain point.
What? You know what's funny? For some reason, it feels in place, where it's the kind of thing where like
Okay.
it's a weird joke that's not really that funny, but like if there was only one spy movie that joke had to appear in,
Okay.
I guess it would be this one.
All right. All right. I mean, if we're gonna do war jokes,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is the place to do them.
Yeah, and that's a very, very small part of it.
Nick Kroll.
Yeah, overall, I would say this is a good movie.
Okay.
I don't know if I can recommend people see it in theaters. This is something you'd watch on cable or
It's
on
not
on
necessarily a rush out to see it.
Streaming. Yeah, this is like a nice little Saturday
Okay.
afternoon thing on the couch. It's the kind of thing where like everything that's good about it, I've seen done better in other movies. So you have the hostage captive dynamic with Ben Kingsley is a lot like this stuff you see in the Hannibal Lecter movies.
Sure, it's like when they took E.T.
Yeah,
I got you.
You have you have the chase to get out of the city is a lot like the end of Argo. You know.
It's like the bicycle thing in E.T. Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got you.
Yeah, you have running around trying to all of the spy stuff is very similar to Munich.
Okay.
It's okay. It's
Okay.
just okay.
Okay,
So yeah,
All right. So it's a man.
yeah, it's a meh.
It's a man. We're changing up the rating system again.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
man. All right. So no, good for you then.
Yeah.
That was nice for you. What's so good for you?
Oh, it's good for you. So yeah, that's it, and that's my
That's it.
meanwhile
That's
for
it.
the
That's
week.
it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Anything in the chat room worth updating us about that I might have missed or anything? Ain't the kids? What are the kids saying? Are they doing anything in there? Are they playing hopscotch? Well, what are they talking about?
Well, Bowerfed is just throwing these random stuff in there.
What do they got?
This week on Dumpster Design, we recycle this Chinese restaurant dumpster into a spacious 2-for-1 with a view of the park. Halfway through Iron Fist.
Okay. All right, I'll keep an eye on that.
Perfect goes, I need a therapist like words in Iron Fist. Hate they borrowed Mary from Daredevil, though.
All right. Okay. So let's go into some email stuff then, because that's like.
Yeah, what do we got? Who's
That's what we do.
who still knows how to write?
Not many. Not many, I'll tell you that, Bob. It's a
Yeah,
good question.
Yeah, no, it is a good question.
It is a
'cause
good question.
They're not even bothering trying to teach the kids anything now. It's just like it sounds good. That's okay.
We don't even have time to
Sounds
teach you letters anymore. It
Yeah.
started, we couldn't teach you cursive, we didn't have the time. Then, we lost the writing. Now we're not even going to teach you letters and numbers. You guys got to come in here already knowing that shit.
Yeah.
We ain't got time for it.
Bill,
Yeah.
When's the last time you actually were in a classroom?
Well, that was the last time I was in the first grade. Because that's what you really have to ask if you want to get specific.
What was
the last time I was in kindergarten?
Yeah, no, not in.
When was the last time you walked around on cups with a
Not
string?
in kindergarten, but just like showed up at or like knew someone or had like a chat with someone who was in kindergarten.
It's been a little while, but a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's only been a couple of years, and most of them they can do math, they can do algebra in the 4th grade, but by the 2nd grade they're telling them they're not worried about how they spell words as long as they sound right, like that's it.
Oh, by the way, I'm talking
come up
public.
with 15 different ways to spell the word straight.
Yeah, and by the way, I was only being sarcastic about it, but it was public school I was insinuating about, not private school, which is probably where you were your whole life, right?
Well,
Catholic school when you were a kid?
Yes, I did.
So it's private school.
Yeah.
I know you want to. I'm not private school. I didn't go away. My dad's not Mr. Drummond.
I have a lot of friends who are public school teachers.
Fair enough.
So,
No,
yeah.
I'm just saying. You know, we don't have time for this stuff.
Right.
That seems to be the way it goes now.
We're getting into the political realm.
No, not us. I'm just saying the schools. We don't have time to teach you certain things anymore. Pretty soon, we don't have time for gym. We don't have time for art. We don't have time to teach you how to write script or cursive. You know, we ain't got the time. We got to get you ready for these standardized tests. You know, watch out. Here comes your brother Bob.
Yeah, eventually they're just gonna be like, "We'll teach you recess."
Yeah, right. I know you guys are all running around, but everybody pay attention.
I don't know. I don't know if you know as much as you think you do about this. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all you're gonna say here? Yeah. You think I'm being extreme exaggeration kind of thing?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
I might have been doing a bit.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay, fair enough. It's quite possible. All right, first one here from my buddy Wesley. Sometimes I hear this music and I just wanna dance. Wesley. Hey, you gentlemen. Due to the passing of Burt Reynolds, what movies would you choose to do a Burtathon? And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I think if you're going to do a Burtathon, you do them all.
Yeah.
We do them all, motherfucker.
Guy must have made like 70 movies.
You can do Cannonball Run, but not Cannonball 2.
I think you do them both. You got to find out why Cannonball 2 maybe he's not as good as Cannonball Run then. You know what I mean? It's almost one of the...
Not enough Jackie Chan.
Yeah, here we go.
That's a good reason.
I will say, hearing interviews with Adam Rifkin,
yeah,
talking about his career.
Sure.
There's some movies I want to go back. Like The End sounds like something that's very interesting. Gator.
Gator. I've seen Gator. I saw it a long time ago, but I saw Gator.
Yeah, I saw The End.
Yeah.
The End was actually a funny movie. It's with him and Dom DeLuise, and he's dying, or he thinks he's dying.
Yeah.
And Dom DeLuise is an orderly.
Okay.
That
Right.
sounds familiar. I feel like I might
And
see it too.
he's like trying to escape the hospital or something because he doesn't want to die in the hospital. I think that's it, but it's been a long time.
Okay.
Was Starting Over. That's another one I've never seen.
Who's in that one? Does it say? You'd have to click through. Don't worry about it. Go on.
No. Who's in it? Jill Clayburgh, Candice Bergen. Divorced man falls in love, but somehow he can't get over his ex-wife.
Should have known. I'm sorry, Ed. Didn't mean to derail. But yeah, look. There's a long list of movies for Burtathon. I think you go with the big obvious classics, and then I think it's a thing where it depends on who's going. Everybody picks one deep cut that's not on the main list, and then we spend 3 days drinking, driving around in fast cars, and chewing bubble gum
There we go.
as we talk. You know what I'm saying?
I saw that clip you posted.
That was a good interesting video, right? That guy pulls up all the gum chewing. So that's it. That's it for this email, I think. I mean, I wouldn't want to get too deep on it. Bauer Fett's got a list there: Deliverance, Smokey and the Bandit, Slaughterhouse 5, Goonies 2. No, that's not the numbers. That's not the stuff.
Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
And Boogie Nights. Bauer Fett got a good point. You show up to school and your teacher is Alexa. That's not cool. It's going to happen one day. You're going to trust the AI to teach our little fucking kids. Might as well. I'm getting down to the end of this cup of coffee. Do you know what that means?
It's almost time for another email.
No, because we don't have one.
Aw.
It means it's getting towards that time of wrapping it up.
Oh, it's time for Thor.
Yeah, a little time. We got time.
Bid you farewell and good luck, morons. Bye.
Yeah. He's going to miss us.
But we do have an after show.
But we do have an after show. That is not really a show, but it is a thing we do after. Calling it a show is kind of like exaggerating a little bit.
We have a plan.
Calling it a plan is exaggerating just a little bit, I think, you know?
And the plan is to figure out what to do for the after show.
As it goes, yes. To figure it out as it goes along.
You guys can start worrying about the after show. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to play at the end to end the show.
There you go. It's one step at a time. You know, it's all one step at a time.
Thank you, everybody.
One day at a time. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just do an hour of old sitcom openings that we haven't heard in a while. Stuff that we haven't done already. Like, give me a break. Who wants to hear some Nell Carter? Come on. Give me a break. I sure deserve it.
All in the Family.
All in the Family.
Mm-hmm. Those were the days.
And you know where you were. I'm not even going to try.
Sorry, we'll have it done by Slayer.
Yeah, we'll find a cool cover of it, maybe. All right. Who knows what we're going to do? Kids in the chat room, if you're listening live, stick around. There is going to be an after show. And once again, maybe you guys could be involved in it. In the chat room there, while you're waiting for us to come back, because we're going to play a little intermission music. That's what we do. So we can take potty breaks, stretch the legs, maybe smoke some crack. Whatever. I mean, everyone's got a hobby.
Whoa, hang on.
Sorry, am I giving too much away?
Ooh.
I didn't mean to put your business on the street. All right, so... so stick around. Put some stuff in the chat room. You want to entertain us with your goofiness, with comments, thoughts, questions, maybe links. I don't know, but obviously the after show, we want you guys. This is where we start getting really, you know, it's when the show is over that we start talking to the people.
Yeah. All right.
Because that's when you do it, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
That doesn't seem productive. But that's what we're going to do this week.
But you can hear. But if you're listening, get the Patreon.
Well, I mean, there is that too.
Yeah.
There is that too. Check us out at patreon.com/Wicked Theory. Ed, where can people find you on Twitter?
You find me at Edward O'Hare, TBD.
Brother Bob.
What?
Where can people find you on Twitter? If they want to.
I don't want them to. No.
Well, that's fine.
At Bob
It's your
WTPC.
call. It's your call.
It's at Bob WTPC.
I'm at Wicked Theory. The show's at wickedtheory.com. Podcast is found wherever good podcasts are given away for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of it. Well, you know, if you're not listening live, don't worry. We're here every Monday for you. And, you know, come listen live. Catch the after shows. If you want to hear the after shows, welcome month over at Patreon gets you access to the entire back catalog.
There you go.
$3 gets you the monthly specials, but let's not get into all that shit. Or maybe you do want to get all into that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Get up all in it.
Just don't go looking for, was it August?
Not there yet.
Yeah.
I just did July, and I did it on my way home from work. Ed, what did you think about that Patreon episode? Because you told me you listened to it, and I was overreacting during it, maybe a little bit.
Oh well, no. You were getting kind of down on yourself.
Oh.
But, well, just the audio. You said the audio's clean. There's a lot of background noise.
Yeah.
But you actually sound pretty clear.
Okay. When you can hear me.
Yeah, which is most of the time.
Which is most of the time.
Yeah.
Well, in the moment, I was doubting.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be much worse.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you hear me like, oh, I don't know about
Yeah.
this. This is a bad idea. I decided to just do it on the way home from work. And all the live sounds of what that
Yeah.
trip is like when it's, you know, Billy on the street. Let's leave it at that. Like, you know, it's my version of that. I should have done some of that. Walked up to people and asked them random questions. All right. So, as the kids in the chat room help us out with the after show, Brother Bob, why don't you take us out of here, pal?
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.